Extraction is a new Netflix movie out there. It stars Chris Hemsworth. He plays a man named Taylor Rake, who's a mercenary. He goes into Bangladesh. The Thanos of all drug lords in Bangladesh has this son, and Chris Hemsworth has to go in and extract him out of the country, while there are other mercenaries who are being paid shitillions of dollars to try and stop Chris Hemsworth because they have an agenda of their own. Now, there is no denying with Extraction that the action is filmed magnificently. This is directed by one of these stuntmen from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I don't know what it is with these stuntmen, like David Leitch, who co-directed John Wick and ended up directing Deadpool 2 and Atomic Blonde. He was Keanu Reeves' stunt double in The Matrix. I don't know what it is with these stunt people, but they just know how to direct action. They make it visceral, in your face, gritty, but saying that, it does feel a bit grade B action movie at times. Bullets are flying, blood is spraying, cars are crashing. When I say I would not be entertained by any of that, it's a complete lie if I told you I was not entertained when all of that was going down. Not to mention, all the action sequences in this movie are all in focus. There is this, what I like to refer to now as gimmicky one-shot action sequence that lasts about 12 minutes. It's filmed really well and it's done really well, but here's my thing with these one-shot action takes in movies now. They're done to death. They're becoming so cliche. They're becoming so unoriginal. Remember the days when slow-mo was a thing? This is the new slow-mo. Remember the days when the whole beam in the sky plotline was a thing? This is the new beam in the sky plot. Remember those days when they would take a really popular actor, put him in a franchise, and everybody speculated he was playing an iconic character, and then he wasn't playing that iconic character, only for the movie to tell you in the end of the second act to the beginning of the third act that he was that iconic character, but it has no impact on the story or the audience because we already knew it. The one-shot gimmick is that thing. I'm gonna say it was done really well. Like, the one in London Has Fallen is nothing compared to this. That is like cheap, okay? At least it was filmed well, and at least I feel like it was masterful. And actually, when you're watching that sequence unfold, you don't even notice that it is one shot. And the way the camera is positioned is really intriguing. I love how it's positioned in the car, and it keeps panning, so you get a peripheral view of everything that is going on. The rhythm section, I feel like, tried to do this earlier in the year and failed miserably. Every action movie seems to be doing this one-trick, one-shot gimmick thing. I'm getting sick of it, honestly. It's becoming annoying, it's becoming cliche, but there is no denying the craft of making this sequence in this movie, how well it is presented on screen, especially with all of those camera positions. Chris Hemsworth is our lead, and of course Chris Hemsworth is the draw to this movie. He is the one who is bringing all the charisma. If there is one dude in Avengers Endgame who was ready to throw down with Thanos in the final battle, it was Chris Hemsworth. Yeah, he's got all the charisma. There's just nothing to his character, Tyler Rake. There's nothing that really raked me in. You learn a little bit about him later on in the movie, but he's mostly the one that's the most fleshed out, and some of the mercenaries that are actually chasing him, there's something that happens later on in the movie where you find out something about the mercenaries, and you're like, oh my god, they're the most interesting people in this movie. They're the ones that are the most developed in this movie. And like I've already hinted at, this movie is well directed. I think it's Sam Hargreaves. I'm going off the top of my head. I don't have any technology or anything in front of me. So, like I said, he directs this movie very well. The direction of his action sequences are great, and the stunt work is phenomenal. It is great to watch. It's like you're kind of watching a more gritty John Wick. Not that B-level type of entertainment, although this movie does have some of that in it. It's more gritty, it's more realistic, it's a bit more brutal at times, but at times I did feel like when I was watching Chris Hemsworth doing all these stunts, I was like, this is like stuff from John Wick. This is awesome. Stuntmen know how to film action scenes. They know how to direct a movie. They proved it. Let more of them do it. But we gotta talk about Joe Russo's script. Yes, this was written by one of the Russo brothers, the Infinity gods of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They're held on such a high pedestal, and while they are great at directing movies, they did a really good job with the 2 Captain America movies, even though I don't like the look of some of the action sequences in both Winter Soldier and Civil War. They did a really good job with those 2 movies, and Infinity War and Endgame. But as writers, Joe Russo is the sole writer on this movie, and his writing skills show in here, because this is a very cookie-cutter script. It is very weak. There is no character development here whatsoever. Every action movie convenience and cliche you can think of is stuffed into this movie to make it more digestible for all those action fans who just want action rather than plot. It is a very weak script, bare bones plot, very stilted dialogue. The dialogue in this movie is not something to behold at all. There's literally one scene where somebody points a gun at Chris Hemsworth, and in subtitles it says, "I will kill you," and then it cuts to the next character, and in subtitles it says, "I will murder you." So what is the difference there? You're still gonna kill him. Like, not to mention just saying, "I'm going to kill you," or "I'm going to murder you," is already weak enough. I don't really understand where that dialogue came from. I don't know why Joe Russo thought that that was great. But then again, he and his brother have to explain everything in Endgame, which their explanations don't really make that much sense, do it? Yeah, this script doesn't really make that much sense, and they take this little kid that Chris Hemsworth is trying to extract out of Bangladesh, they put him in so many dangerous scenarios, and this kid makes the dumbest decisions ever. This kid is not very smart. It got on my nerves. I heard a lot about this kid being annoying from some fellow YouTubers and Twitter people, where I was like, I don't really find this kid annoying, I just find him dumb. Like, he's not smart at all. He's running out into the wide open when bullets are being sprayed everywhere. It's like, dude, you're trying to get out of the country. He's trying to help you. Like, go hide somewhere. The ending too, I was not very fond of the end. There was an element of the end that I really liked, but the very last like 10 seconds of the movie, I was just like, I give up. I didn't really like it, and this movie does that whole cliche where they show like the last like 5 minutes of the movie as like the first scene of the movie. The action movie's gotta stop doing that, and it's like, oh, 2 days ago, here you go, here's the story before that sequence. They do that whole thing, and it honestly, this movie is annoying at times, but will I lie when I say there was some entertaining value to be had in a Netflix movie? No. I'm not gonna lie to you on that. It's got great stunt work, it's got some great action. Chris Hemsworth, despite the very minimal character work with his character, he's got all the charisma. He is the draw for this movie. He's the one you care about, even though there's nothing there to latch onto. Because we all love Chris Hemsworth because he's Thor. He replaced his long hair and Stormbreaker for generic military gear and an M16. And it's a very well-directed movie, but its script is very cookie-cutter. The character development on the rest of the characters is very minimal, and this kid just makes dumb decisions, and it's got a lot of the action movie cliches. I'm going to introduce a new popcorn rating here, and I will say you will find enjoyment in Extraction even if you have 3/4 worth of a bucket of popcorn. Wow, I gave this movie a positive review. Didn't expect that. I thought it was gonna really go more towards half bucket of popcorn or lower on that. So yeah, I got 6 ratings now. Maybe a ratings explained, I don't know, we'll see, but that is my review of Extraction. What did you guys think of Extraction? It is on Netflix now. Check it out if you're a huge action movie junkie. This might appeal to those who just like all action sequences, no plot, because it is a very thin plot. But anywho, what did you guys think of Extraction? I want some feedback in the comment section below. I will leave my link to my website in the description below as well. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching. My name is Alex Madden, and I'll see you at the movies when they open up sometime.